Good afternoon YouTube, and welcome back to the summer update from Warwick Road. Obviously it's been 4 months since I last posted, maybe even longer. Some of that is I'd lost my mojo because I'd ripped up a whole section, and because the weather was so hot I couldn't get up here to sort it, so I got a bit frustrated and just sort of down tools in the layout when I did other things, and I didn't really know where to start. I was trying to do too many things. I was rushing, coming up here for a morning because I could get up here for a morning, and then just making a mess and end up at the end of the time I was here ripping it up, starting again. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a brief overview of what I have been able to do. It's mainly scenery because I haven't been able to run trains, it's too hot. Sometimes I come up here for half an hour, 20 minutes before the sun gets too hot to do a couple of little bits, but I'll take you through what I've done, where I want to go, and yeah, some locos that I bought in the last sort of 4 or 5 months and plans for the future. So what I've done here is where that garage is under construction, there was a house there. I've moved the house to here, made a bit more sense, looks a bit better. So this house in the end's got a garden, and this is all under construction, and it allowed me then to start there. So what I've done is added this retaining wall that came from Bunter's yard, but the ivy that's hanging down was £1.50 from Timu, so I've got quite a bit of this stuff just to look like ivy that's obviously overgrown and hanging down. So all I've got to do is finish this little bit here with a little bit of a back scene, paint it around the back of the houses just to finish that corner off. So that's the view from the other side. So I've moved that sign closer, turned it round. So this leads into here. This hasn't changed much. Just did a little bit with the house at the end there, where there were bushes and everything there. I've changed the way the road goes. Tried to make it look like the road disappears up behind these trees here. I've just updated this slightly. Obviously everything's lit now, we've got street lights all the way along here. I think that was the problem. When I had the ability to come up here, I spent far too much time putting the lighting in. Far too much time, several days doing it. Obviously I didn't know that we were going to have record-breaking temperatures in the summer, but I lost a lot of time doing it. TMD will go back here, but because of this area here, I kept knocking, dropping stuff on it, damaged a few items, so I've taken it out, and when this is finished at the back and all down the front here is weathered, track is ballasted, then I shall start work on the TMD. So this area's got to have obviously a board put in there, and then work out what scene I'm going to put that fits nicely into this. This hasn't changed much other than lighting. Again, these are those cheap Timu lights. This changed because at this end they used to be totally different. I've just made it into one big department store with a road underneath, but all the lights work. I then added a bridge that looked more realistic than I had before. Station car park that wasn't there before. And over the back just filled that in there, more of that Timu like ivy looking stuff. But that's warped in that corner, so the trains won't fit around that corner, so I've got to get across there and sort that out. As you can see, it's all been pushed forward, so I've got to get to work on that. All of this here stays the same. I'm happy with how this looks. So the only thing I will do is this fence is going to be replaced because this is paper wrapped over card, which isn't very good, so I'm going to get some laser cut when I can find something that's reasonably priced because of the number of panels, and do it. But all this is staying. So I did this area in between the tracks, which is just like an overflow, so water runs down here. Added another bridge to get to the container yard because the road I had for the container yard was too small, so it doesn't fit properly at the moment. My measuring isn't brilliant, so back to the drawing board just with here, because that's where the wires go for the lights. But this was built before I decided to do lighting, so all down here I've got to put lights in up to the level crossing, and that's the entrance into the container yard. I decided I wanted to scratch build something in this area, so I've just done like an IKEA store. So if you can see that, it's got a couple of lights, so the sign will be lit up. I've just got to put the wires through the hole, but that's not finished yet, so I've got the roof to do and some more weathering on the upper part of it, because it wouldn't stay that blue and that clean for that long. Container yard stays the same. All I've done is use the Hobbycraft. They do like a concrete replica of a concrete paint that's just like grey textured paint, so that's given the yard a better look, and it will look even better once it's weathered. This area doesn't change, just I've lifted up the track, relaying it, and obviously I've got to ballast it, but also I'm taking the opportunity to replace the cable trunking. I bought a plastic one which is a bit too small, and it was just a solid lump sculptured, whereas the filed 3D you fit the lids yourself, so you can either have a continuous run or you can cut the lids up, and then that's a little bit more realistic. It looks a bit better when there's lids missing. Station hasn't changed other than I changed the platform edging for the Pico versions, because the other scale scene's paper, even though when I'd used the paper and then sprayed some matte varnish over it, still when I went to ballast the track it was still in some areas getting water in and turning it blue, so it didn't really look very good. So I've redone it all, had the people there, all the lights work, I think bar one. You can see there the cable trunking's in there. These are from West Hill Wagon Works. These are the bin liners. I was going to buy the Acura scale bin liners set, but it's pretty expensive compared to doing it this way, and I've got 15 or 16 of the Dapol intermodal trailers, wagons, sorry, so it made sense to do it that way rather than pay £170 for a pack of 3. So the weather, the hot weather has caused those two to separate, so I've got to get them sorted out. But excuse my voice, it's a bit croaky today. I'm really pleased with how this has turned out. I've got loads of people to add, actually using a paint pen to paint the people. It's a lot quicker and a lot easier. Obviously this bit will have another piece on top, but I had to get this done first. No change here. All it will need is people, lighting in the shops and in the car park. A couple of lights here for the car yard. I've got an old-fashioned Ford Transit car carrier, so I'm going to put a beaten up old rusty relic coming back for some refurbishment. But this pretty much stays as it is, just lighting and people, rubbish. This sits above the station. This is all lit. Just need to find some more detail to go on here and probably dirty it up a bit because it's a mainline station, so there'll be rubbish, dirt and stuff, and some vehicles to put on there. So the first loco to talk about is this Hellion Class 47. £99 off the Hellion website after their announcement that they're purchased by Curascale. So I thought I'd pick one up. This is now the third one, and none of them have run. I complained about the first one. They left it with me but sent me a replacement. That didn't work, so that's gone back. This is the third one, and this doesn't work. So maybe somebody out there that's watching this could advise me. I don't think I've done anything wrong, but in a nutshell, I put a DCC chip in it and it's run. To run it in, it's run, but it's not responding to the actions of the controller. It's just doing its own thing. Then it stops, cab lights come on, and I switch it off, leave it for a few minutes, switch it on again. It does exactly the same thing. So it doesn't run at any speed for more than 2 or 3 minutes before it starts playing around. Then it stops, but the flywheels, big copper bits, they're just spinning very, very, very slowly. I've taken chips out of other locos that have been run before I transfer it, and it does exactly the same thing. So I don't know what's wrong with it. I like it as a model. It's well detailed and everything. I know that there's an issue with the cab dimensions, but I'm not enough of a connoisseur to note that, or it bother me, probably a better way. So if anybody out there knows if I'm doing something wrong or it's a known problem, please let me know in the comments. I'm going to try running it in DC and see if it works, and if it doesn't work in DC, then it's going back and I'm just going to get my money back, which I don't want to do because it does look nice, and on this layout a 47 would look really nice. Another addition since the last video has been this Curascale Class 66 Rail Fate Triple Grey. I really like the livery on this for a modern image loco, so I decided to buy it. I haven't got a chip for it yet because literally with the summer and the heat, trains haven't run on this layout since last year, so I've just literally been running them in on my rolling road, so wasn't in a rush to buy a chip. But now that it's cooling down, I can get up here now and start running trains, then I will get a chip. But it's just, I really like the 66 anyway. I've got 17 of them, 13 are Hatton's ones, so I'm a big fan of those, even with their foibles, shall we say. But now that a Curascale, I've got hold of it and tweaked the issues. The axle boxes was the only issue I really had with them. These are superb, and a little bit of weathering on this will look brilliant. This is the next purchase, the Curascale Class 50. I mean, this is gorgeous. Not doing reviews, as those of you know that know the channel, but I had a Hornby one which was really nice, but I sold my Hornby one when this was announced and used the money to pay for this, and I'm so pleased. I had to have one sound fitted because of the unique sound these things make, but wow, what a model. So yeah, looking forward to running this. The detail was superb, nothing's fallen off of it, and I've got the crew there that come from Mercuroscope, so I've got a driver and a second man in there, so really, really nice model. Another item bought this year was another one of these. These are the Revolution Trains car carriers, DB Schenker, and again, these are really nice. 2 packs, I think I'm going to get a third. I've got a couple of DB Schenker, the Class 60 and Class 66. I think in normal life they travel behind Class 66s, so I've got one DB Schenker, I've got 2 I think, and this will run. But these look really nice and very, very, very well detailed for what they are. Under frame detail on these is superb. Don't know if you can pick out there, but the writing, detail, love these. So I went to a toy fair in March. I was expecting to see a lot of model railway stuff for sale, but there was very, very little. Quite disappointing really. But I picked these 2 up, and because I bought 2, he knocked them down to 40 quid for the pair. Now these are about £50 online eBay, and I don't think the KFAs with the containers are much cheaper than that, so I was really pleased. So a couple of bargains there. So these are the only wagons I've bought other than the Revolution car trains since my last update, and the only thing this thing has got is it's got a buffer missing, but it's in the box, I just need to glue it back on. Right, I'm going to keep the video brief because I don't want to waffle on too much, because not a lot has happened for obvious reasons, but thank you for taking the time to watch the video. Any comments, please feel free to add in the comments section. I will reply to all comments, and especially if anybody knows anything I'm doing wrong with the Class 47 Hellion, to give it this erratic running. And the point, I couldn't run it on the layout because it would just fly around until either it stopped or it came off on a corner at high speed and damaged it. I'd be very interested in the comments. I don't want to send it back, but if it carries on like this and it doesn't respond to any of the differing makes of controller, then it clearly is an issue and it will go back. But yes, hopefully now the weather is cooling down, I can be up here within the next couple of weeks, and priority really is to get trains running. Like I said earlier, love it when I can run trains, even if it's only on one track, and be detailing stuff on another track or in another area. Clear signs that the weather has taken its toll on a couple of my card kits, so I've got to look at how I can future-proof them for next summer and the summer after. Maybe it's that they come down and it's replaced with MDF, I don't know yet. But yeah, there we go. So Warwick Road, August 2026 is still alive and kicking, and hopefully I'll be back with something of interest very soon. So thank you to everybody that subscribes, likes, comments, and I will see you all soon. And now the weather's improved. Happy modelling. Thank you. Bye bye.